Hey, what's going on, guys? Romer the Romer here with restrictedinventory.com, and in this video I'm going to go over exactly how to start selling books on Amazon step by step. Everywhere from where to find the books, how to list the books and make them available for the customer to purchase, and if you want to, how to scale your Amazon business to the next level. But let's take a step back first. How did I end up selling books on Amazon? I've sold $1.5 million worth of used books on Amazon over the last 3 years. How did I get in this position where I'm 25 years old, I don't have a regular job, for a living I make YouTube videos and sell on Amazon? How did I end up in this strange spot in my life? Well, when I was in college, years ago, back probably as far as when I was just like 19, 20 years old, I would sell my textbooks. Now, I don't know if you've been to college or not, but everyone knows that college textbooks are outrageously priced. And I didn't want to get my textbooks for class and sell them back to the bookstore for pennies on the dollar. I would pay $150 on Amazon, and then I would go to the bookstore and they would offer me $15 for the book. So instead, what I did was list the book on Amazon, and that's when I discovered the power of Amazon FBA. I discovered the power of building a business, an inventory-based business. I would get all the textbooks from my friends, and they would bring them to my dorm room, and I would give them some beer or some money for them. Sometimes I would sell the book for them and pay them once it sold. But this is how I started my business, and I realized the power of Amazon FBA. The way Amazon FBA works is you pack all of your books in a box, right? So here's all the books. And I'm gonna go over all the different places you can find books. You don't need to be a college student to start this business. But you take all of your books and you put them in a box, you ship them to Amazon, and Amazon handles customer service. Amazon literally sends the book directly to the customer. Amazon handles everything for you, everything you could think of, tracking the book, returns, refunds, all of that. All you need to do is price the book. It's still your book, it's still your property. All you need to do is price the book and make sure that it sells. You own the book 100%, it's your property, but Amazon is handling the rest for you. And we'll go over this a little bit more in depth, but just know that this was an exciting opportunity for me because as a college student, you know, I'm busy wrestling when I was in college, and I'm busy going to parties on the weekend, I'm busy going seeing my family, driving home on the weekend, and I didn't have time or the infrastructure to have a bunch of inventory in my dorm room and be shipping books one by one to students. So just know, before we dive into this, that even if you don't have a lot of space, even if you don't even have like a garage, or like even like if all you have is a bedroom for yourself, you can really get started with this business because you're gonna be using Amazon space rather than your own. So hopefully that makes sense. So where exactly can you get books, and how do you determine if books are profitable? So first, let's talk about how to determine if books are profitable or not, because if you're selling books on Amazon and you don't know if the books are profitable, then you could dig yourself into a hole. This could be a big problem. A lot of people, they get in an Amazon business, they buy a bunch of inventory. The inventory either sells at a loss, so they lose money, or the inventory they purchase doesn't sell at all. So you want to make sure your books sell and they sell for a profit. So before I go over where to find these books, I'm going to go over some simple technology you can use. Download a magical app on your phone. There's a couple different apps I recommend. You can use Scoutly or ScoutIQ. I do recommend ScoutIQ. I do have a link below to ScoutIQ. All the links below, some of them are affiliate links, some of them are not, but I will link the resources below. So if you guys do want to use this app, go ahead and open it up. But this app was created by one of my mentors. Shout out Caleb Roth. The Book Flipper. So you take this and you're actually able to scan the barcode of the book. So if you see there, let's line it up. And it comes up red at the top if the book is not profitable. And if the book is profitable, you can also type in the title. So if the book doesn't have a barcode, simply type in the title. So I'm typing in biology. This is a textbook that I know is profitable. So what you do is you scan the book, and if it turns green like that, then that means it's profitable. Now if you look in the top left corner, you can see exactly how much profit it is. So right here, You can see it's $6.77 profit. Now, if you open it up, you can see there's a total of $9.43 in fees, and we're gonna sell this book for about $17. So the beauty of this app, and it's assuming that I paid $1 for the book, because most of the time you're gonna pay $1 or $2 or $3 for the books. So this app knows all the Amazon fees, it knows what you could sell it for, and this app also knows how frequently does the book sell. So I could go completely in the weeds and talk about sales rank, which is a metric on Amazon that tells you the sales velocity of the book. I could tell you exactly what all these different Amazon fees are, but just know this app actually handles all that for you. It factors in all the fees, it factors in the sales history of the book, and if you should purchase it or not. So when I started my business originally, I got this app and I would just go to thrift stores, libraries, and just scan every single book I could get my hands on that were for sale. At libraries, they have library sales. You can use booksalefinder.com to find local library sales near you. I've made over $1,000 profit just going to a library sale and scanning the whole collection of books they have. Thrift stores are amazing. I've gone to thrift stores and made probably close to $1,000 profit at thrift stores too. You know, sometimes you strike out. Sometimes you'll go into thrift stores, you'll scan all the books they have, and you'll only find 1 or 2 or 0. But a lot of times you'll go in, especially if you live in a bigger city like Chicago, New York, Miami, out west, there's a lot of great, huge cities, you know, San Francisco, San Diego, LA. Big cities are gonna be better, but I found massive profits in small towns as well. So I mentioned that I was gonna talk about who this business is for and who's it not for. It's really not for anybody who lives completely in the middle of nowhere. So if you live in the middle of nowhere and you only have 1 thrift store or 1 library, go ahead and visit that place and see if you can find profit. But it's gonna take a long time for them to replenish the inventory, and you might not be able to really scale a book business. But if you live in any decent sized city, I lived in Nashville, I was able to start my book business there, or maybe you're near a college campus. You wanna be near a place where you can get books consistently. So I do recommend this business everywhere in the Northeast, all those states from Washington, DC, all the way up to Maine. All of these states are just caked with phenomenal places to get books, from bookstores, thrift stores, libraries, people's houses. And we'll go over a little bit more in depth on techniques to get books, but just know if you're near a big city, if you're on the East Coast, you're good. But don't come back and yell at me if you try and start a book business and you don't have any places nearby to get inventory. So what you're gonna use is ScoutIQ to scan the books. It makes the decision for you. You'll learn over time how to use ScoutIQ. I have more videos, I'll link a couple below, on how to use ScoutIQ in depth, how to look at the profit, and sometimes the app will make mistakes. I have videos that really break down how to make sure that you are buying books that are indeed profitable, but when you're spending $1, $2, or $3 on books that are gonna sell for 20, 30, 40 plus, you can't really go wrong. Most of the time, 80, 90, even like 95% of the time, this app is gonna get the right books for you. You're not gonna be buying trash books with this app. So let's get into techniques on how to find books. So we've gone over scanning books. Where are you gonna find books? So what I recommend for all of my students, I have over 1,000 students who have enrolled in my program where I teach them step-by-step how to sell books on Amazon, and I basically get a pulse for what works. So I get to tell my students, hey, look, go do this, and if they all come back to me and say that worked great, I know it's a good technique. And one technique that has absolutely been blown out of the water lately is Nextdoor. So there's an app called Nextdoor. This is a community-based app. It's kind of like Craigslist, but more community-based, a little less sketchy. You can see people's faces, people have profiles. It's kind of like if Facebook and Craigslist merged together and only allowed people within your city or zip code to join. It's a great app. It's a great app for a lot of different things, but it's phenomenal for getting books because you can go on there and post, I have a book business. I will pick up your books at no charge. So you're gonna advertise, I don't know if you know about 1-800-GOT-JUNK, but 1-800-GOT-JUNK built a massive business off of getting junk from people's houses, literally going in and taking couches, all the trash they had, loading it into trucks, not charging the person anything, and they were able to sell the junk and make a ton of money. You're essentially gonna be doing the same thing with the books. What you're gonna say is, hey look, I will go to your house and I'll pick up all the books you have at no charge, and I will make sure that these books get back into the hands of interested readers, which is exactly what you're going to be doing. If people ask you where the book's going, simply say the books are either going to be sold online on my online bookstore, or they're going to be given to charity. If you can't sell the books on Amazon, give them to a charitable organization. Give them to Goodwill. Give them to Salvation Army. Give them to a local veterans service, or whatever it's called. Local veterans, what's the word I'm looking for? Charity. Give them to prison charity, or prison, give them to a prison. I know I have lots of people who are passionate about different projects, students of mine, acquaintances of mine, who take books and they give them to children's literacy programs. So wherever your heart is, you can give books to those programs, or if you're frankly lazy like me, I just give them to Goodwill. And I know if I give them to Goodwill, they're going to be given to people at dirt cheap prices, so I know the books will be ready then. Nextdoor is the number one way that my students are crushing it. In the last 12 months, I've just been getting massive feedback from my students saying this is working. And on top of that, you're getting the books for free. So if your inventory cost is $0, then every dollar Amazon pays you is profit, because you didn't spend any money on inventory. Assuming you're not wasting a bunch of money on other things in your business, which you shouldn't be, you can run a relatively lean book business without doing a lot of extra spending. So Nextdoor is a great place to get books for free. There's also Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Let Go, OfferUp, all these different apps. Start there, get books for free. There's also another technique that a lot of people talk about, thrifting, going to thrift stores, going to libraries as well, going to used bookstores. These are all great places to find books. So what I recommend is map out your whole city. Go to Google Maps and map out every single thrift store. Map out every library and call the library up. Say, hey, do you sell books? If they sell books, then put them on the list. If they don't sell books, then don't go there. Check out booksalefinder.com. Go ahead and make note. Put all the book sales in your calendar. Book sales you are going to, it is the amount of money you can make at one book sale, especially if you're the only person there. It's your brain is just gonna be firing like crazy. You're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I've been to a few book sales by myself, and I literally got so many books that my car was completely loaded with books, and I could have gotten more. And I went home. This is when I first started. I told my parents, like, I have a few $1,000s worth of books that I'm gonna be sending to Amazon, and they were like, what the heck? So make sure to add book sales to your list. So this is the gist. This is just scratching the surface of how to build a book business from scratch. There's dozens of other techniques, but we're not gonna dive too deep in those today. We're gonna move on to how to list the books. So I'll also link a video below for how to list the books on Amazon. I have a few different techniques, but essentially what you're gonna be doing is use a third-party software. Go ahead and sign up an account with Acceleralist, ScanLister. I use Acceleralist, so below I'll have the video on how to do this. And I'll also attach the free version. There's a free version on how to list books too. So it's actually one of my most popular YouTube videos on how to list books just from your phone. So if you want to, you can just scan the book with your phone, list it, and essentially what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna be labeling the books. I recommend labeling the books because Amazon does charge 30 cents to label the books for you. So you can save, it's gonna come out to a couple cents if you label it yourself. So label the book yourself, pack it in a box. Don't worry about the shipping rates. Amazon gets really cheap shipping rates with UPS. You're gonna get anywhere from 20 to 30 cents a pound, which is incredibly cheap. So you'll be paying less than $1 per book to ship it in. And you'll be paying like 50 to 70 cents per book because most books weigh less than 2 pounds. And so what you're gonna do is pack the box up, ship it to Amazon, and then once the books get to Amazon, you'll have to worry about repricing them. But don't even worry about repricing or anything like that because that's down the road. Most of your books will sell for whatever price you send them in at initially, as long as you price them around the lowest price. As soon as Amazon checks in your inventory, you'll get a lot of sales. So this is how you start selling books on Amazon. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. If you guys ever do come across books you're restricted in, I help resellers by selling them on restrictedinventory.com. This is my website that I created to help Amazon sellers monetize textbooks. The way it works is I'm kind of like a miniature Amazon. You send me your books, any books that you can't sell, mainly textbooks, or if you come across CDs, DVDs, any type of item that you can't sell, go to restrictedinventory.com, set up an account, and go ahead and scan the items in. You can pack them in a box, ship them to us. We'll prep, pack, label the books, ship them to Amazon for you. And once the items sell, we send you 50% of the profit. And we've paid out over $500,000 to all you guys who decided to use this service. We've got over 1,000 satisfied customers. And this is how I make a living now, is helping the reselling community by giving them awesome tips like in this video, and also helping them monetize any items they can't sell. So if you come across brands you can't sell, textbooks you can't sell, CDs and DVDs, head on over to restrictedinventory.com and we'll help you out. That's it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Smash that subscribe button. Much love. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.